Good evening, and welcome to the final Wilson. It is Tuesday night on the week of fall camp opening. Y'all ready for some football, fellas?
Man, we've been patiently waiting.
Look, don't adjust yet. There's a few less of us tonight. We might have lost Matt. We might have lost Chris in camp already for some injuries, but they're getting a big echo out of me. Take over, Dan. I'm going to see if I can work.
Okay. Y'all, welcome to the final whistle. You know the crew, the Avengers. Well, 3/5 of the Avengers, 3/6 of half of the Avengers, rather. I'm your co-host Dan James, sitting here with my buddies, Lucian Graves. Lou, how you doing tonight?
Man, Dan, I'm doing all right, man. Ready to get into it. We got some stuff to talk about.
Oh yeah, of course, and our very own residential double agent. We have Daniel Petty. Daniel Petty, how you doing tonight?
I'm here, man. I'm apparently here twice in echo, and I'm trying to figure it out.
That's what happened when you're a double agent.
Yeah, it does.
You have to repeat yourself a lot.
I was on earlier with Xavier all the Bama love. I thought that would get my double agent stuff fixed.
Okay, yeah, we have a fun-filled night-to-night schedule. Daniel, we're gonna let you lead the topics.
Yeah. Look. I'm gonna try one thing real quick to cut this out. All right. Is that better? Let me know. All right. Look, we got a big show. Trump's weighing in on college football. Saban's giving his thoughts on it. Greg Burns giving his thoughts on it. We're going to talk a little Alabama game. That comes important. Sometimes some big ones and lose ones. And then we're going to talk some SEC teams under the microscope. And we're going to break it down. Maybe a team down in Peru. Maybe a team down in Gainesville. Like I said, it's fall camp time. Buckle up your chin straps. It's time for the final whistle. Let's do this. We're gonna hop right into it. And again, let us know. 5-star long snapper. I was waiting. Look, let's hop into this. We all know Saban has been very vocal on the changes of college football. Might have had something to do with why he called it a day. But he's been talking with the headman, Trump, and Trump has now made the college football bill. And Saban was quoted this week saying that he felt like it goes a long way in securing the student athlete aspect where the money's not going too wild. It's going a little more. We don't lose non-revenue schools. Greg Burns also kind of chimed in the University of Alabama applauds the steps being taken. And you got people like Bill saying they've never said anything about a salary cap coaches. So, it's going to be a hot top. Lou?
You're muted.
I think it's going to be interesting to actually see how this whole thing breaks down. I know it's not really on paper yet. Congress has to go through and actually make the parameters of it. But from what I read about it, it can have a great impact over time, but we're not going to see that immediately. So it's going to be kind of up in the air because of what I've been able to research about it. There's nothing immediately that can be done about it. As far as him just making the order, it's going to make people actually get off their asses and do their job and start regulating this money situation that's going around college sports.
Dan, how much of an impact do you see that this kind of levels things out and makes it even for every team?
Well, the thing is, he put a Band-Aid on it, and that's all we can ask for right now. It needed a Band-Aid. Now comes the regulation and everything, because it's great what he did for the sake of amateurism. And people talk about coaches' salary cap. That's different. One is you're paying professionals, and the other end you're paying student athletes. So this right here is gonna set the boundaries for the labor board, National Labor Regulation Board, to determine should we treat student athletes as employees or what they are, student athletes. So this is something that we're playing catch up with when we should have got ahead of it from the beginning. The NCAA, he's allowed the NCAA to fix a problem that they pretty much caused. So it's a chance to reboot, reset, and if nothing else, it pauses it and gives us a reset point. I'm all for athletes getting paid, but you still, even at that, you still have to have regulations in place, and you got to have, if it's going to be considered amateurism or it's just going to be professional sports, why don't we just do one and done and just skip college? Or why do we even go to school? So I'm all for what he's done, but we will see. You'll see the effects of it down the road. He just set parameters in place for the NCAA and the federal government to be able to do what they need to do to be able to try to save college sports.
Well, I mean, if anybody could do it, it would be Saban. He obviously has more influence than any person alive. He got to the main man president. So we'll see. Dan, I'm actually that's me. I'm working on the fix. If you could give us a lovely introduction to our sponsor to get the lights on here for the final whistle.
Oh yes, definitely. It's football season, y'all. And I suggest everyone go to whitwheelsports.com and snatch you up a title towel. You put in the code standard, that's standard STANDARD, and you get a 10% discount. But go to title towel to get game day ready. Whitwheel Sports.
I think we lost Petty.
Oh my goodness. Sound check. That's it. Petty, he had to get on his good side.
Yeah. Hey. Is that better at all?
A little bit.
You look taller.
Well, the camera's going to be bad, but I was hoping the echo would be better.
Well, I haven't heard the echo.
Well, it is on. Man, 5-star longs to Van says I've been wrong. I don't know if it's just coming from this connection or what we're doing here. Sorry, man. I'm sorry, stream. I know this is bad too right now, but so is the horrible echo that you're getting from us. So I'm trying to get it fixed.
Yeah, we're taking application for IT.
Right.
Lou, are you clear when I bailed out?
What's that? I don't hear an echo anymore.
All right.
I think we're good.
Yeah, sorry about that. See.
Is everybody good?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Moving on. Sorry about that, chat. Growing pains.
Well, you go ahead and lead, buddy. I'm still echoing that.
All right. I got you. All right, so moving right along, we're going to jump into our next topic. Alabama's kicking game in 2025. Dan, what's that looking like this year?
You know, that's a big mystery surrounding the team, but you know, I have faith. You know, Connor Talty, he looked like he's gonna be our kicker this year. You know, he handled kickoffs most of the year last year. Had a pretty decent spring. Punter, you know, Alex Asparuhoff, if I probably butchered his name, but expect big things from him. Peter Natoro, he was a five-star kicker, if there ever is a five-star kicker. But he, according to Cole's Kicking Academy, you know, yes, that's the thing. I Googled it. You know, he's going to come in and provide competition for Connor Talty. But I expect our kicking game to be, you know, I don't expect it to take a step back, but I do expect it to be consistent, you know, much more, you know, status quo as it was last year. Last year wasn't, you know, groundbreaking or anything with Graham Nicholson, who was a Groza Award winner. Am I right? But, you know, I expect Connor Talty to be a very serviceable kicker for us this year. And hopefully we won't have to depend on, you know, too many game-winning field goals anyway.
Right. What about as far as the punting goes? Is there going to be some competition there?
No, I expect Natoro to outright. I mean, not Natoro. Asparuhoff, you know, this Australian punter. I expect him to handle it outright, to win it outright, and pretty solid spring. You know, I think he's going to be a asset in our kicking game. You know, he's a very good directional kicker. Doesn't have the hang time, you know, of the J.K. Scotts of the world, but he's a very good, you know, kicker, Australian kind, you know, but I expect him to be our punter, you know, this year going forward.
What about the transfer from Division Two?
His name slips me.
Blake Dowd.
Yeah, Blake Dowd. Yeah. We shall see. You know, I expect to see both of them in maybe the first game. Yeah,
he boasted some pretty impressive numbers, and he was an All-American at Division II level.
Yeah, but
and from what they say, he booted an 80-yard punt his junior year.
That's quite impressive. You know, can you do it? You know, in Brandon or in the Neyland stadiums, you know, Jordan Hare stadiums, you know, we shall see. You know, it's different environment. You know, so I'm not sold on him. I expect it to be Alex Asparuhoff.
Solid. Petty, you good or no? You still?
Man. No, I'm still echoing like I'm in a drum somehow. I don't know what happens when I flip from one service to another. I'm straight yard now. But I agree with Dan.
You don't have your TV on, do you?
I ain't got nothing on, man. I ain't changed nothing. I ain't done nothing.
Oh, wow. Well, you know, give us your take on our kicking game, you know, if you could.
Cribs. Yeah, me the whole Harry Potter back there. We got in a look. I don't care about the fucking game. We got guys from Australia. I like what you said, Dan. I'm more about the fact that I'm echoing like crazy. I'm sorry, guys. Because I don't feel like y'all can hear me when I do talk.
Okay. Well, what do y'all want to go into the next topic? Because one step forward, two steps back. We'll talk about SEC teams that we expect to take a leap forward this year, and our picks for team to take a step backwards.
Man, that's juicy stuff.
I think you're muted, Lou.
You want to start off then?
Okay, yeah. Well, my take, team to take a step forward. I got two teams. One of them is South Carolina. Y'all know who the second one is. Definitely. But South Carolina, they have somewhat of a favorable schedule. No Georgia, no Texas. They finished the year kind of strong, but they lost in the Citrus Bowl. Went on a 6-game winning streak. Had an argument, small argument to be in the playoffs. With their schedule, which is very favorable, they got LSU and Death Valley, but they got Bama at home. But other than that, Clemson, they have a pretty favorable schedule, which could, a 9-3 this year could put them in the playoff as it didn't last year. But you got a quarterback very similar to Jalen Milroe and Lenore Sellers. He improves that 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, and there's no telling how good the offense will be. You still have questions at running back. But definitely I expect South Carolina to be a very formidable opponent in the SEC this year. And that's one game that I'm concerned about on Alabama's schedule, going into Columbia. That's one game that they can afford to have circled, and they always tend to give us their best shot. Other team, Alabama, year 2 of Kalen DeBoer, a lot of questions be answered. Is Ty the guy? Yes, I believe he is. Can he distribute the ball, get the ball into the hands of our playmakers? We have, some very pivotal games on the schedule. We have to go to Columbia. We go to both Columbias, Como, and we go on the road. We play in Jordan Hare this year. We have LSU at home. We go to Athens, so it's a lot of. It's not a very favorable schedule for us, but I expect us to improve on our 9-4 overall record. As far as teams, I expect to take a step back. If you can, Kentucky, definitely. 1-7 last year in the SEC. You lose your best receiver, Barry and Brown, to LSU. And so I in Mark Stoops' 13th year, I believe that, 13 years at Kentucky as a football coach, that shows the accomplishment that he's had at a basketball school. But 13 and 10, last I checked, is a very unlucky number. And I don't think this year is going to do him any favors, So I expect Kentucky, they only return 3 starters on each side of the ball, 3 on offense, 3 on defense, and the 3 on defense are all in the secondary, which should be a pretty stout secondary. But other than that, a lot of questions. They didn't exactly recruit well, didn't tear up the portal. So I do not see them improving. The only way I can see them going is back, considering all the losses they had on both sides of the ball.
You want to go low or you want me?
I'll take it. Give me one step forward. Give me Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
I think they drastically improved that defense from last year with a healthy group of receivers. I think they make a little bit more noise. The SEC schedule is a little bit easier on them this year. The big games for them are a little bit more at home. As far as taking us two steps back, give me Missouri. That team got gutted on both sides of the football, and they didn't have any splashes really in recruiting or the transfer portal. So give me Missouri. That's taking two steps back.
Man, SEC under the microscope. I can be like the brother to all of them. In some way or another. You know, Napier kind of saved himself last year by salvaging the back end of that brutal schedule, beating Florida State, beating Ole Miss. But Lagway didn't pick up the ball all offseason. Now he's in a boot. Like we get the kid has a ceiling, but if he's not the Heisman winner, everybody thinks. What is Napier on the hot seat? LSU fans are ready for Kelly to shit or get off the pot. And they got him offense, like you mentioned, Dan, Darian Brown. But as far as we're talking about taking a step back, I actually expect Carolina. I know that Norris is good, but I question his weapons on offense. Then the defensive end, he's going to be one of the best in the game. Stewart,
he's the only returning
but
guy in front.
They lost the first round cornerback. They lost the other three guys next to him. I kind of expect Carolina maybe could be one to take a step back. I would step forward. I like loose pitch, Oklahoma. But I don't want to use the same one. So,
What's crazy, Petty and Lou? I think everyone is scared to take Georgia. You know.
Well, you say scared.
Yeah, I mean, as far as taking a step forward,
that's what you're right. I'm scared, but I'm scared to take Texas A&M. Because they pass the eye test, but they do every year.
Yes.
And then they lose four games.
Right. In Georgia, I really don't. I'm not feeling the offense, and I don't think their defense is going to be good enough to carry them like they had in years past. So we shall see on Georgia. I think they'll be solid, but they won't be Georgia the last 3-4 years.
Well, how much does the offense need Stockton to be great? I think that's a big question.
Yeah.
But me and Lou talked about this. Georgia's defense doesn't have the depth back to save quarterbacks like he used to.
Right. And Carson Beck at times he was great, and at times he was awful. He was very inconsistent. But when he was on, he was on. He carved us up in that second half of the game. But I don't see Gunnar Stockton being that guy right now. He's a better athlete, but I just don't see him being that guy.
Explain to me how Ole Miss doesn't take a step back. You lose the first round quarterback. You lose 2 or 3 guys in the first round, 7 guys to the draft. I don't see how Ole Miss doesn't take a step back, to be honest.
Actually, I think, I didn't have them taking a step forward or a step back. I think they'd be the same.
Same Ole Miss.
Same Ole Miss. They're going to be good. Lane Kiffin is a good coach, very good coach. And last year, Ole Miss was more like a team of mercenaries. I think this is going to be more of an Ole Miss team. So I wouldn't sleep on Ole Miss.
Maybe a key word there, Dan, is sleep. Because you're right. Kiffin in the last 5 years, the top 3 winningest teams in the SEC are Georgia, Bama, and Ole Miss. He's been consistent. And last year, everybody was talking about him, so the pressure is there. Well, the spotlight's kind of off.
Right.
And say what you will about Golding, but he likes what he's got in the pieces on the defense. And Austin Simmons, you heard Roman Harper at SEC Media Days. He's all about this kid.
Right. So, I expect Ole Miss to be a very good team. Maybe even have a better year record-wise than last year. But Ole Miss is not a team you want to sleep on. Because, you look up and you be like, okay, Ole Miss is in the playoffs. Okay, Ole Miss won the first round. Okay, now, they're going to be talking about Ole Miss.
I was listening to Kiffin earlier about their first practice, and he's talking about strength of the team, maybe the wide receiver room, and they've moved the Bama kid Odom to tight end. He's been playing over at tight end.
Imagine that. Yeah, so and Kiffin is an offensive guy. Let me tell you, he is probably the best at utilizing playmakers. And I think you lose a first round quarterback, but hey, this guy that's behind him, I think maybe even better, and that's scary. Kiffin is an offensive guy.
Thing. You want to say how can you expect a drop off after replacing the first round, but the whispers before this season started were, hey, Dart's good, but the ceiling on the Simmons kid is different.
Right.
Well, I told this story. I was at the Ole Miss Florida game in Gainesville. I was there for warm-ups, and I kind of elbowed my kid and was like, look at Dart and Simmons warming up and tell me what you see. Like the ball goes faster when Simmons throws it. Like, well, it's cutting through there. And he's standing about 5-10 yards further back.
Right. Yeah.
I apologize for the echo, guys. Chris James that segment,
I know that.
Yeah, happy birthday. I mean, not birthday. I'm sorry. Happy anniversary to my brother and his wife. So, this is going on what year 8, I believe. So, congratulations, you guys. Wish you guys well.
Happy anniversary, Chris.
Yeah, he's actually not injured. He's doing his civic duty.
Yeah, he's in his square toes tonight.
Where's the fine dining? Where's Chris?
I don't know. He got to tell me about it though. All right, are we good?
Yeah.
Okay. And Chad, if y'all have any questions or anything, be sure to place them in the comments.
Look, bear with us. We'll do a new service. Me and Lou, we'll get together tomorrow. We're gonna figure this out.
Yeah, because this is.
Well, I guess we'll just get ready to wrap it up.
Yeah, go ahead and take this out there.
Okay, y'all be sure to follow each and everyone on the panel. Petty, we'll start with you. Tell everyone where they can follow you on social media.
It's Petty_Daniel on the X. I'm actually getting a little more active. I'm going to try to be better and more with my goal this football season. But man, this season's here. Follow me here. I'm on the final whistle next week. Come back. We're going to get these audio issues fixed. We love you. Bear with us. Roll Tide.
Lou?
You can find me on X. 4-row 2 loose 1 or Lucid Graves on Facebook and Instagram. But for the next 24 hours, you can find me on StreamYard fighting this audio.
I'll be with you, buddy.
Okay, everyone. Yes, you can follow me on X at Final Whistle Dan, on Facebook and Instagram, Dan James IV. And thank y'all for bearing with us tonight. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe. Catch us here next Tuesday We apologize about the technical difficulties. Y'all be sure to tune in next week. We would definitely have this buttoned up, and maybe we'll be at have our rest of our team here. But this is us. We're gonna end on those 2 words: roll tide.
Roll Tide.
And by the way, Georgia, we're proud of you for not getting pulled over a weekend.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Dan, real quick, going out. Dan asked about St. John's.
Okay, what was the question? I didn't see it.
What about St.
John's? Oh man, let me tell you. There's been some Oregon chatter, but this is my personal opinion. I don't take it. They if it's Oregon is the choice, it's gonna be all about money. But he doesn't cross me as a guy that's all about money. He seems to me like a relationship guy. But the thing is, he has a great relationship with the Texas A&M staff. So I think it's gonna be a Alabama Texas A&M battle. And I expect the decision within the next week. He even said that much himself. But I expect at the end of the day, I'm going to say Alabama with 60% confidence. That'll be my choice, my pick for him. I think it's going to be closer than most people think. But he really and his family, they love the environment and what he has in College Station for him. But they are also, on board with Alabama. Coach DeBoer, Courtney Morgan, those guys, and the relationship with the players at Bama, I think that'll play a factor. So I'm gonna say Alabama at the end of the day, right now, as of now.
Sounds good,
man. Heard it here first.
All right, y'all.
Roll Tide, guys.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.